As Daniel said, I'm Lynette Dujon. I'm the Vice President of Innovation and Chief Information Officer here at YVR. And I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the traditional and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. So I'm not sure how many of you are gamers or have kids that are gamers, but if you are or know that your kids are, these virtual worlds are places where really complex problems can be solved. And this same technology has now transitioned into replicating real worlds. And today you'll see a digital twin of the YVR airport. It's an exciting moment for YVR's innovation history. We're the first Canadian airport and one of the first in the world to go live with the digital twin. Daniel introduced Chris Gilliland, who is our Director of Innovative Travel Solutions. So he's going to start with the overview of the twin, and also Andrew McPhee. He's the Senior Technical Analyst and Product Owner of the platform. He'll walk you through the digital twin itself for the first public-facing tour of the technology. Not only that, I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but you'll get to see our new international terminal expansion on the digital twin here today. We're going to open the floor to question and answers after that, but we ask that you will hold your questions till then. When you came in, I think you noticed that the session is being recorded. Our communications team will reshare the video after the event along with additional media materials. So YVR recognized the pandemic as actually as an opportunity to expand its role in BC's economy and rethink how digital transformation can support our employees, passengers, and the community while helping us meet our sustainability goals, making YVR so much more than an airport. The traffic really dropped off during the pandemic to down over 90%, and the airfield was incredibly quiet. So it was the perfect time to do the flyover with the high fidelity cameras and the LiDAR to capture the data needed for the 3D model you'll see today. As I say, never waste a good world pandemic. Our Innovation Hub, which we launched last year, serves to connect and collaborate with local businesses, technology providers, higher education, and community to lead the economic recovery of BC. I believe that pretty much any type of technology can be tested and trialed at an airport, and our digital twin is the first major marker out of the YVR's Innovation Hub. And as you can imagine, as an airport, safety and security is our #1 priority. It's core to our business, and the security of our passengers includes their personal data. So you'll see data feeds around passenger movements, flight schedules, sensor data, but the digital twin has been designed with privacy by design, cybersecurity by design, and so there's no personal sensitive data that you'll be shown today here in the twin. So I'm going to pass it over to Chris, and he'll go into a little bit more depth about how the digital twin functions. Over to you, Chris.
Great. Thank you, Lynette, and good afternoon, everyone. So YVR's digital platform is exactly what it sounds like, a virtual, real-time, interactive representation of YVR's terminal buildings, our airfield, Sea Island, and Musqueam lands. Think of it as one big, powerful video game, which Lynette talked about. The platform was designed as a people technology, making its value limitless for all of our frontline workers, our business partners, and our community. We are going to use this tool to build the very best airport experience. The platform is going to allow for a new way to anticipate, to optimize, and to plan for the future by visualizing data without any direct impacts to our operations. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about how it works. Through the integration of sensors, historical and real-time data into the platform's situational awareness module, the digital twin will then surface key information through 2D and 3D visualization, enabling data-driven decision-making and collaboration, which has never been available to us before. In other words, YVR's twin will enable us to accelerate understanding of all of our airport's complex systems with a click of a button. Another way YVR is trialing the use of our digital twin is through modeling aircraft movements and activity on the airfield to reduce GHG emissions. And this is part of YVR's initiative to become the world's greenest airport. Additionally, together with Musqueam, we are exploring the possibilities to digitize our airport's amazing Indigenous art collection, starting with Susan Point's welcome figures. We're exploring the potential to make the collection available to the public through the digital twin. You'll get a taste of this new way of looking at our art collection during the demonstration. Speaking of demonstration, it's my pleasure to pass it off to Andrew, who will now walk through our digital twin. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Hello, everybody. Firstly, I would like to thank our partners at Unity and GeoSim Cities for the excellent work they've done to help us as we develop our digital twin platform. I'm very excited to be able to give you that first look at our platform today. This demo is running on a Windows system, but our digital twin also runs on iOS devices. What you're seeing now is the main screen that provides access to the different modules within the digital twin. If somebody can just confirm that the screen is shared and you're able to see me mousing over these modules, that would be just a good check for me.
Yeah, all good.
Excellent. So the digital twin platform is modular, and each different module that we develop provides a unique functionality to our different business units. In today's demonstration, I will demonstrate 4 of the modules that we have within our digital twin platform, and then I'll briefly switch out to a different application to demonstrate a 5th module, which we actually have in development right now. So module number 1 is what we call the Ops Situational Awareness Tool. And you've heard Lynette and Chris talk about how we take planning data and real-time data, and we fuse it into an operational view of the airport. So as we look at this module, we see a 2D top-down view of YVR. We have the international terminal to the north and the domestic terminal to the south. And you can see a number of icons on the map as I move the mouse around. These icons represent our operational facilities, the key points throughout the operation where passengers flow through the terminal. So along the bottom of the screen, you will see 4 distinct swim lanes. And these, again, are the key processes that passengers will go through as they transit the airport. So you have connections facilities, pre-board screening and security checks, the customs areas, and then anything relating to safety and security. So essentially what we do here in this module is we take information from our operations planning teams, and then we visualize it in this digital twin. So, for example, I'm able to see an estimated passenger count for the day on an hour-by-hour basis, and this will give me an idea of where the passengers are expected to be within the airport. So 780 arrivals, 2,200 departures, and 297 connections estimated. So this at a glance gives us an idea of where we might expect the airport to be busy. In the background, we actually take the prediction data and we fuse it with real-time flight information. So I'm able to zoom into the specific gates, and I can click on the gate to see the status of the aircraft at that gate, and I can see the estimated passenger counts as well as the aircraft type, the destination. And at the moment, we have no flights running late, which is a great thing for us. We would see these flights indicated in red at the gate if they were of concern to us. So we take that information and then we combine it with information provided from our business intelligence team to generate what we call cluster alerts. And these are the items here that you see in these swim lanes. So I'm able to move throughout the day. I can go to earlier in the day. I can go into the future. I can move between days and look at previous days or next days. And essentially here we are taking that live information from our flight data systems and we're combining it with our planned information to figure out when we may or may not have capacity issues. So earlier in the day, I can click in on this particular alert in the connections swim lane, and this shows me that at our US connections facility, we experienced a slight delay for passengers in between 11:45 and 12 o'clock, where the predicted data told us that we were expecting 68 passengers, and we know that operationally that facility can handle 50. So this system generated an alert, which could then be sent to our operations staff via push notification to an iOS device, and that would enable them to respond quickly to the area to help passengers keep transiting the airport. So as well as the planning data, we also have some real-time sensors deployed for other purposes. And as you can see right now, we have an active alert on the curb. I'm able to click on this sensor and it's running some camera analytics to detect loitering vehicles on the curb. So loitering vehicles are things we would like to avoid at YVR for safety reasons and for capacity reasons. So if a vehicle loiters on the curb for longer than 10 minutes, at the moment we are receiving an alert to let us know that. And of course, again, we can then dispatch the relevant operations staff to move that vehicle. Similarly, we have some in-terminal cameras running very, very advanced analytics to detect overcrowding and detect the movement of people through the terminal. And again, this just gives us a very good sense operationally of where the airport is busy and where we need to direct staff. Aside from that, we also have some real-time sensors, which we're starting to use in conjunction with our planning data. And this really is the key to what the digital twin can offer for YVR. So as I said earlier on, I'm able to click onto this key Seagate Security, which is one of our domestic pre-board screening areas. And throughout the day, I can scroll through and check the numbers of predicted passengers versus the thresholds and ensure that we have the right numbers of people there to handle that load. Now, where we're able to incorporate real-time data, we can use that to further reinforce and refine these models. So if I click on the doorway, for example, we have a people movement sensor, which gives us minute-by-minute updates on the numbers of people going through the facility. So far today, we've had 2,082 people go through that doorway, and within the last 15 minutes, we've had 24 people. So we can take these numbers from the real-time systems, and then we can combine them with the planning numbers, and we can just reinforce and improve the airport. And that really is the power of the digital twin for us. So aside from this, the YVR as a terminal is, of course, a huge area, and we have the capacity, the facility to be able to search for particular rooms so that our operations teams can quickly identify where they might need to go to handle particular issues or deal with problems. So this is of great benefit to us as we move forward. So that's module number one. I'd now just quickly like to move to module number two, which is our maintenance tool. This is primarily for the maintenance staff that are on shift, and these teams have the responsibility to keep all of the equipment and doors and all of the important safety equipment that we have running at YVR. So if I click into this tool, then I see the very familiar airport map again, but you'll notice that in the corner here, I have a button called work orders. We actually use the Maximo enterprise system for management of work orders, and the digital twin is integrated with our enterprise system, and it actually will pull in the work orders associated to the user that's logged in. So at the moment, that's myself, and I have 4 work orders currently. I can see where they are on the airport map. I can change the floor levels to see that I have a work order to deal with on level 1. I have a work order to deal with on level 2, and then of course 2 work orders on level 3. So when I'm logged into the digital twin, I can click into that particular work order, and then I can log into our Maximo system as myself, if I get the password correct. And once I'm logged into my system, then I'm able to interact directly with that record. Just redo that one. I'm able to interact directly with that record, and I can add my labor hours, I can change some of the details, I can provide notes, and I actually can complete that work order. So through the use of the digital twin tool, we can allow our maintenance people to be able to quickly update their work orders in the field from their iOS device. Similarly, I can also search for rooms in the maintenance tool. There is a slight difference here in that if we know that we have some work orders in a particular location that need to be handled, then maintenance staff can actually see that, and they can take ownership of those work orders accordingly. So this helps us with efficiency, because if a maintenance worker is dispatched to a particular area and happens to see that there are work orders adjacent to that area, then they can take ownership of those and handle them. So I'll now move into module 3, which is the 3D Explorer view of our international terminal expansion. And you'll have to bear with me, over Teams, this may be slightly less impressive than it is in person. I will try to move the screen very slowly. So this is a first look at the virtual representation of our brand new international terminal expansion. So as you can see, we have the full scene here modeled out in 3D. And I'm able to move around this as if it's a video game. I can look at the various different parts of the terminal. We have our atrium, with the indoor forest and the trees. We have our beautiful artwork, the airport signage, the airport screens, some potential commercial spaces. And actually I can move down to the gates, the departure gates here, and obviously we have our seating and signage, etc. So the question we often are asked is, why do we have a 3D view, and why is this useful? The 3D view is very exciting to us because it offers a multitude of possibilities here. So anything from using the real-time data from our people counters to populate this space with virtual avatars, which represent the real passengers. Of course, we can do planning and simulation exercises, so we can put in queues of lengths of different numbers of people with different queue lengths and distances between them. We can change the configuration of the seating. We can give the passengers different behaviors and have them loiter by the shops, or look at how they might charge phones or anything of that nature. The possibilities here are endless. We also can do emergency simulations where we might, for example, trigger a mass evacuation. Of course, there are other opportunities too in the entertainment and retail space, or even providing passengers with a virtual view of their journey through the airport as they arrive and go to customs and the different areas. So again, this is a very, very exciting arena for us. At this point, we'll now move into a 3D model of a very familiar site for those who've traveled in and out of our airport via the customs hall. As we continue to build out the digital twin, there may be opportunities to incorporate some of YVR's award-winning Sense of Place art collection, which will showcase the best of British Columbia. And we're calling this module the Sense of Place.
So do you recognize these as you descend down into YVR's custom hall? You're greeted by the Musqueam welcome figures, as Andrew said, by Susan Point. The figures extend a greeting to international and cross-border travelers, and the deeply carved frontal aspects of both figures are inspired by the historical Coast Salish house post, while the back of the panels reveal the artist's innovations in traditional images and motifs. So those are words from Susan Point about her artwork. You're starting to see digital twinning of museum grade digital twins of different pieces of art. So this gives you an example of how we can use it at YVR to create these very beautiful digital twins of the art that we have here.
Thank you, Lynette. I will now just briefly switch to a different application and show you our outdoor 3D reality model, which is a complete virtual representation of the whole of Sea Island and the airport terminal. So we'll just wait a moment for this to load. So again, apologies. This may run slowly for the moment, but just allow me to position the camera correctly. So as you can see, we have the entirety of Sea Island modeled out in glorious 3D. We can look to the north, we can look to the south. We have the runways, we have the mountains in the far distance there. We have the main terminal building and some of our parkade and other features, and then we can look across to Richmond. This again is an extremely exciting sort of platform for us to work with. So you can see at the moment we have the virtual aircraft in position at the different gates. And one of the use cases we're looking into with a tool such as this is to incorporate the real-time movement of aircraft in 3D using radar data that we receive from our partners, so that we could actually create a virtual representation of the actual YVR. So if an aircraft was coming into land, you might see the aircraft land, and then you might see it proceed down the runway and exit from the taxiway and proceed to the gate. Again, this is a video game world, so every object that you see can be controlled and can be addressed and can be given data and can be given behaviors. And one of the quick use cases we've explored here is if you would like to concentrate on this air bridge, then through simulation, I'm able to move this bridge and control it in various ways. I can extend it, I can raise it, lower it, and of course I can rotate it. So this is just a very, very early proof of concept, but a tool like this, a function like this would enable us to build simulation tools which could train staff in the safe operation of such gates. And of course, from there, using the 3D space, we are able to look at busy areas like our de-icing pads, which in the wintertime are very, very busy for us. And we can do all kinds of planning and simulation around this and really optimize the operation. And just focusing on the aircraft here, of course, because this is now a digital object, if we know the type of aircraft and we know the passenger loads of the aircraft, then we're able to use the information we have and the real-time data we have to do things like deduce GHG emissions, or even look at the taxi routes that the aircraft take, and really just optimize the entire operation. So again, this is a very, very exciting space for us. And at that point, that concludes the demonstration of the digital twin platform, and I'd like to go back to Lynette for closing remarks. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you all are as excited as we are about this technology now. And my sincere thanks for you attending today's launch. We're very, very proud of the work that we're doing with the technology, but more important than that, we're really proud of how we're putting technology in the hands of our people so that they can be able to support our passengers and our operations better than they ever have before. So technology for the sake of technology doesn't bring a lot of value, but the fact that our people and its grassroots requests on how they can leverage the digital twin, it's been really exciting for us to build those capabilities for them. So happy to open the floor to some question and answers now.